What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube?
Sixers are in trouble. I need a top five.
Man, let's get into bets of the week, man. What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of Charge It to the Game Sports and Sports Betting Podcast, brought to you by the Bet US Sports app, Simply 8 Vitamin Gummies. As always, I'm your host, Roman, here with Big Z. Z, what's up, baby?
What's up? What's up? Football is back.
Yes, sir. Indeed it is, man. Hey, back for another episode. Like I said, it's been a while, right? I know everybody's like, yo, what's going on? It's been a while. Y'all ain't been around. I get it. So, but we're coming right back around at the right time, right? So, I mean, now's the time. We're trying to get this money, man. As always, we're trying to get this money. Show you guys what's up. But Z, man, how's everything looking in Pittsburgh Steelers camp? So, but from your perspective, I guess.
I'm encouraged. We Steelers just signed Desmond King as another corner from the Houston Texans. Finally traded the worst offensive lineman in the league, Kendrick Green. I can't believe Houston wanted to take him, but good riddance. We actually got a draft pick for him, so that is beautiful. And then traded Dotson, our other offensive lineman, who was going to be a backup this year. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Got a draft pick for him, so we didn't have to just cut him. He went to the Rams, so that is good. I am fired up. Week 1, San Francisco in Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock. Joey Bosa still hasn't signed his contract, so it's going to come down to the last hour whether he's playing or not. And so, so that's on the San Francisco side. That's the watch. They're still arguing over his contract. So he hasn't been there all training camp. He'll play. It's 1 o'clock in Pittsburgh. They got a week to get it done. So we'll see what happens in San Francisco. Yeah, but I'm fired up. The line is moving, though. All you bettors out there should have taken the Steelers last month. You could have got the +3. You could have got big plus money. Now, after all this training camp stuff, it's down to 2. So you'll
the line of the game -2.
Yeah, Steelers +2, San Fran -2 in Pittsburgh. That's wild to me. Steelers are rarely an underdog at home.
Let's talk about this, man. So I look at it like this, and for people, and Z knows this, a lot of people lose a lot of money in week 1, man. A lot of money. Just because it's week 1, man. Like, it's week 1. Please do not go out there and be one of those people, man, and blow all your money on these week 1 NFL and college football games, especially NFL, because the defenses are going to be humming, right? The offenses are going to be the ones that are going to be slow starters. You still got new pieces. Offense always takes time, to come together, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or someone on that line. But in this game, I wouldn't honestly be surprised if Pittsburgh won. Them being you guys
remember last year, Pittsburgh won in Buffalo week 1.
Right, in Buffalo.
And won. Yeah. Big plus money. It was a beautiful bet.
Exactly. And most people are like, man, Pittsburgh against Buffalo. And I remember because a lot of people lost a lot of money. Yeah. And like I said, week 1, these
no, last year was Cincinnati. That's what it was. Joe Burrow was hurt. First play of the game, Minka got the pick, and Steelers went there as a 10-point underdog and won the game in overtime.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, like I said, a lot of these games in week 1, the first 5 weeks, keep an eye on what's going on. Like I said, you don't want to end up blowing through a bunch of money with week 1 through 5. But, I mean, like I said, in this game, we got some really good matchups week 1. In training camp, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about what's going on. We had the Trey Lance trade from the 49ers to Dallas. I mean, Z, what are you thinking there? I mean,
as the trade of Trey Lance was the worst trade in NBA history and NFL history to me. For the original trade, San Francisco trading 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick to get Trey Lance, and what did he start? 2 games, and then they traded. That has got to be the worst trade ever.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the whole Trey Lance thing, I look at it like this: Trey, he got hurt. You know what I mean? He didn't really come out there looking like he's, the next, Brady or Mahomes or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But he got an opportunity to play. He didn't really showcase his to the best of his ability. People got to understand this is a guy who's in year 3. If San Francisco is looking at it like this, if Trey Lance, if he's going to be the third string quarterback on our team behind, who is it? What's the guy? Sam Darnold. What in the hell is he going to do for us there? Like, why would we continue to keep him on our roster where he's young? Other teams might want him. Where we know we're not giving him a large deal.
Yeah.
We just went to the NFC Championship game with Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, we'll see actually what happens out of it. But him with that shoulder injury, like I said, they got Darnold backing them up. Obviously, the Niners are always known for that defense, especially now. And Kyle Shanahan feeling confident enough in Brock Purdy to kind of lead the charge with him right over Trey Lance.
I mean, it's crazy when you think about the Dolphins players acquired from the Trey Lance trade: Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Bradley Chubb, and the draft pick Channing Tindall for Trey Lance. That's the trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's
no, you're right. Yeah, the Dolphins are loaded. The Dolphins are loaded because of that. And
that has to be the worst trade in NFL history. That's the worst trade ever.
Yeah, I mean, it remains to see what happens. I mean, like ultimately, we'll see what. But as of right now,
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Bradley Chubb, and a rookie Channing Tindall, who they drafted this year, for Trey Lance. That's the trade.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, when you go into the draft. That's what happens, especially when it's these young players. Like they think they're the next generational talent at quarterback. That's all. It happens all the time. But like I mean, that's a king's ransom to pay for a player of that magnitude. With Lance, I think him going to Dallas, sit behind Dak. He's going to be the quarterback behind
new beginning, fresh start. Yeah.
I think this is going to be. He's going to be definitely be in there. He's going to run some of the read option stuff. Because that's one thing that Dallas, I think they're going to add that tweaking where he fakes it and he doesn't, either he hands it off or he doesn't. Dak, since that foot injury, he's not the same. He looks incredibly slow. So Trey Lance can definitely go out there and run some stuff like that. As far as passing wise, he might sneak up on you every once in a while. But I would say they're definitely going to have a package for Trey to go in there and throw the ball and run the ball at certain portions in the game. But as far as everybody already knows I'm a Bucs fan, man. So I'll hop on it right now. And I was dreading getting on here, man. I ain't gonna front. Z already know how. Yo, I don't know. This is a tanking season, man. This is a tanking season. Like I said, I was never 100% sold on Todd Bowles at all, and it's showing. We signed, bring in Baker Mayfield to compete. He's our starting quarterback. He beats out Kyle Trask, who, from what I understand, in Kent was throwing a lot of iron interceptions. Didn't look that great in the Steelers game, but then again, Baker didn't look that great at all either. I mean, the Jets game, Trask played for the most part the whole entire game. Won that one. He looked serviceable, but then again, it's against the backups. Man, like I said, for me. And ZR, I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with this. I just want to see why we spent our second or a third round draft pick on Kyle Trask, a young quarterback who's been sitting behind Tom Brady for the past.
Yeah, Bruce Arians guy, and Arians is gone. I mean, if you look at Arians quarterbacks, the Andrew Luck, the Big Ben, he coached Peyton Manning.
He likes big guys.
Yeah.
And Todd Bowles. I don't know who knows what Todd Bowles likes. You know what I mean? Apparently he likes Baker Mayfield. And our new offensive coordinator, I'm not going to let this go unnoticed. Bucs have a new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, Byron Leftwich is going. What's the offensive coordinator? Is it from Georgia? I think that's who we have now. A former SEC guy. I guess he's seen Baker up close and in person once, from his days at Georgia. I guess I don't know if they played or not, but he's probably familiar with.
They blew him out in the championship game.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got that going for him. But I'm not even 100% sold on a college guy. His first year in the NFL, being an NFL coordinator against NFL defenses, against NFL talent.
So they hired Dave Canales,
Yeah,
first year offensive coordinator.
who in the hell is this guy, right? So the Bucks, their offense is gonna be complete trash. I mean, and then we're having the issues with Mike Evans. Bucks fans, we already know what it is, man. I wish Mike the best. Mike should they might as well just do right by him, man, and just trade him. At least get something back. He's not coming back, man. You're starting Baker Mayfield, dude. You got Todd Bowles as your head coach. And aging defense to an extent. You guys should go ahead and rebuild this team, man.
On the positive side with Canales, so he was Geno Smith's quarterback coach last year. And Geno Smith was a Pro Bowler, had the greatest year of his life. So can he resurrect Baker like he did Geno for that 1 year last year in Seattle?
We'll see, man. Like I said, the thing is with Baker, it's not even Geno's willing to listen. Baker's not willing. Baker gets out there. He thinks he's Peyton Manning. He thinks he's Big Ben. He thinks he's Tom. And Geno knows, like, okay, yeah, I'm listening. Baker gets out there, acts like he listens. He's gonna be like 45 slot slow-go or something like that. He's like, fuck this shit. Mike Evans, go deep, man.
Yeah. So this dude, prior to Geno, he was at USC. So that's his connection to Pete Carroll. Went from USC to Seattle, quarterback coach, turned Geno into an all-pro, and then parlayed that into an offensive coordinator job. Thank you, Geno. Set up the guy's career.
Yeah, man. I mean, but as far as, like I said, the Bucks, they got that going. Our running back, Rachaad White, he's promising. Is he a number one running back? We don't even know if that's going to stand up. Number two,
you got receivers. You got high-paid receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Godwin, Edwards.
Yeah.
I liked, just from the game they played against the Steelers, the guy who got the touchdown, Palmer, the rookie, he looked good too.
And that's the thing. Like I said, we got the players around as far as receiver, but it would have been a good stamp. It would have been a good setup for Tom Brady with no running game, but with Baker Mayfield, our center, our starting pro, potentially Hall of Fame center Ryan Jensen is going to be out the whole entire season. For the most part, he's not going to be coming back no time soon. Donovan Smith is gone. They moved worse from right tackle to left tackle, even though he's a great player. I mean, moving that's an amazing shift from right tackle to left tackle. It's completely two different athletes. The best athletes in the world on the left side. So he might not be able to hold that.
And Gadecki struggled. I mean, just the one game, the Steeler game I saw, he was having fits with our backups.
Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, it's stuff like that. The Bucks they have issues. The offensive line, the running back is Rachaad White. I like Rachaad White, but is he a number one back? Our number two back, I don't know who in the hell he is. Then our only offensive weapons are Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Palmer. We got some others.
They got the guy from Syracuse, the rookie, Sean Tucker, who was a really good college back. I mean, we don't know what he'll do in the pros, but in college, he was really, really good at Syracuse.
Yeah, so like I said, we'll see what happens with these guys ultimately. And then on the defensive side, the defense is going to be the strength of the team. We got Devin White.
D-line, strong D-line.
Yep, front seven. Vita Vea and Shaq Barrett's back healthy now. God bless him, man. We got prove it year for what's the guy's name? Joe Tryon.
Yeah,
played solid last year. Wasn't great, but I mean, he's gonna have to prove something because he was a first round pick. Are you gonna pay him? And then Levante David. He's an older guy. He's brought back. Devin White, my boy. He's hating the team right now. He wants a new contract. So it's a bunch of different things boiling up for Todd Bowles. I mean, to me, I hate to say this, especially being a black head coach, it's going to be an uphill battle all season long for this guy. And I hate to say that, especially as, one of our own. But, Z, I mean, for you and your Steelers, you guys are doubted, but you guys have an incredible team.
So our season goes as Kenny goes, and he looked good in the preseason. I mean, the roster, I haven't been this enthused about an overall roster in a few years since the last Super Bowl. So I mean, the roster is beautiful. They have depth everywhere. They're stacked everywhere. The season is going to come down to Kenny. I mean, the improvements on the offensive line. I mean, signing Isaac Seumalo from the Eagles.
There you go. Yeah,
was beautiful at guard.
How's he looking, Z? I don't want to.
He's incredible. He's incredible. Najee actually has holes run. So and then getting rid of the two worst linemen who messed up the whole year last year. They're not even on the team anymore. They got rookies replacing them. I mean, it is Broderick Jones, #1 draft pick from Georgia at tackle, is looking great. I mean, they signed Allen Robinson to be the third receiver next to Pickens and Deontay Johnson. They are loaded to me. I mean, and then the national media sleeps on them. They've been picked to finish last. In the
national media and passive football fan. And that's the thing. From a sports betting perspective, if you're a Steelers fan, you're loving life right now because everybody's picking you to suck. You're going to finish last in your division.
And Tomlin has never had a losing record. The basic over-under, again, is only 8.5. Steelers have gone the over every year. That's the easiest bet in the world. Every year they get doubted. Every year Tomlin finds a way. I mean, last year they started 2-6, ended 6-2 to end the season, and had a 9-8 record. As soon as they got rid of Mitch and put Kenny in, Kenny went 6-2. The season is going to go as Kenny goes. Kenny is efficient. That's what I love about him. He's not going to give you the Patrick Mahomes wow. He's not going to do the Joe Burrow wow throws, but he's efficient. He'll take chances. I mean, he can move. He's efficient. George Pickens, to me, is a stud, all pro in the making on the outside. They drafted another tight end, Darnell Washington from Georgia, who looks like an offensive lineman. And so he's helping the run game as well. Interesting fact for the Steelers, to me, running the ball. Najee, I don't know. I mean, their backup running back might provide a little more juice.
But I mean,
Jaylen Warren, I'm telling you, Jaylen Warren, when they played against the Bill starters, 1 touch, 70 yards, touchdown. If Najee ran that same play, he'd get a 15-yard gain and get tackled. I mean, the juice with Jaylen Warren is special. I mean, and I like the mix. It's going to be interesting how they divide the carries because to me, I don't know, through the preseason, I thought Warren might deserve more of the carries just for that explosive home run hitting running back that he is. Najee is in between the tackles. Najee's going to be great this year. I mean, he got 1,000 yards his rookie year behind the worst offensive line I think I've seen in a long time. I mean, I can't even believe they got to the playoffs with that team and that offensive line. Big Ben's last year. Now with the depth with Harris and Warren, an interesting player is going to be Calvin Austin III, who was a receiver they picked last year in the draft, who was hurt all last year, runs a 4.3, had the long touchdown pass versus the Bucs, had a punt return the next game. Another young guy that adds juice. I mean, their draft has been absolutely, well, through the preseason, the draft looks absolutely amazing. I mean, as a sleeper guy, Nick Herbig, remember that name? From Wisconsin, same school as TJ. He is going to surprise. I mean, he dominated the left tackle for the Bucs. That's where he made a name for himself. There's a mic'd up section with his brother is an offensive lineman with the Steelers, Nate Herbig. He's a guard. And Tomlin's walking up and down the sideline asking the other players, does anybody else on this team have a little brother I need to take a look at? Anybody else have a little brother we need to take a look at? I mean, the guy is going to be special. He's going to be a steal. He's TJ Jr. And so he's going to be
TJ Jr. What? TJ Watt?
TJ Watt Jr.
No,
he went to – I'm telling you. Remember that name. Remember that name. Nick Herbig. He went to Wisconsin.
I remember.
Went to Wisconsin like TJ went to Wisconsin. TJ has been mentoring him for the past 5 years. and the Steelers got him in the 4th round. And through the preseason, he hasn't been able to be blocked at all. Nobody's been able to block him. I mean, he's been in there. They signed Marcus Golden, who's going to be the backup to Alex Highsmith.
He was a Pro Bowler last year, right?
Yeah.
Or he was a double-digit sack guy, too.
With Arizona, 12 sacks. He's Alex Highsmith's backup. They signed Quan Alexander to back up Cole Holcomb at middle linebacker. I mean, the depth this year and the speed this year on defense, they are stacked. Patrick Peterson is their 3rd corner. I mean,
but I get it. I'll say this, but especially on the offensive line standpoint of the Steelers, that is it. Because I was telling Z, I remember when you guys had Mitch behind that line and you guys had Najee. I mean, there was nothing you can really even do. And a lot of people were like, man, why in the hell is Mitch Trubisky starting? That was why.
To take the hits.
Yeah, to take the hits. Why in the hell would you put in Kenny Pickett, a rookie quarterback, week 1 of the NFL season behind that offensive line with no running game? Come on, man. Like, some of you guys got to be real, man. And it shows because, like, I don't just be talking just to hear the talk, man. Like, I bet real money. Like I said, I'm going to keep telling you to the day I start recording this show. I don't bet $5. I don't bet $10. I don't bet $50. I bet decent amounts of money on games, all right? So I know this stuff like the back of my hand. But, I mean, like I said, for the Steelers, with this offensive line, the upgrades that they've had, bringing in James Daniels last year, now he's going to be solidified into the offense. The guy from the Eagles, the All-Pro and Pro Bowler.
And Broderick Jones, 1st-round draft.
Broderick Jones from Florida. He looks like he's a big-ass vending machine. Like, people like that, like, now you can actually – Najee can actually get the ball and not have to break 3 tackles before he gets to the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean?
I mean, it showed. And then Kenny's more confident throwing the ball down the field. I mean, this preseason, 7 drives, 7
Oh, he's airing it out. He's airing it out. I forgot that one game we threw it to, was it Pickens down the sidelines?
Yeah, did his typical one-hand catch. I mean, the offense looked explosive. So as much as we've been dogging Matt Canada, the offensive line kind of hindered them. That's why they would all these bubble screens.
This is for my boy at the gym, man. Well, after this, we'll get off to another team. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I know he's gonna watch this at some point in time. It's my boy at the gym. He wants to know from a perspective of he's a diehard, born in Pittsburgh, Steelers fan.
Yep.
His issue is Mike Tomlin. He's like, Mike Tomlin's a good coach. He's not a great coach. He's won these championships with Ben Roethlisberger. Now he's just been middle of the road each and every year. Yeah, they don't have a losing season, but they're not making no real noise. Like, what do you have to say on that? Because there's a lot of people, as much as we and you like Mike Tomlin, there's a lot of people that want him fired.
Honestly, if you look at he had a winning record with Duck Hodges at quarterback. That's all you need to know about Mike Tomlin. Duck Hodges at quarterback, they ended the season with a winning record. The thing that held the Steelers back was, Ben's last 3 years where he was a statue. He couldn't move. And that team made the playoffs. I mean, with no offensive line and a quarterback that can't move, they still made the playoffs. Steelers are built different. Coach Tomlin is a player's coach. Players love him. He's very pragmatic. He always has his quotables. The standard is the standard. He was talking about, I saw an interview where they asked him, why was Kenny playing the last preseason game? And his quote was, you don't go into a pro fight without sparring first. Mm-hmm. I believe our guys need to spar to get ready for the fight. And I mean, he just makes it plain and simple. This year they have, I think this year is a good testament to the team because they're to me, their roster is one of the best rosters in the league.
Yeah. Position by position.
Position by position.
And the thing is, I think like you're gonna get a lot of plus money with them early on. If the Steelers go 4-0 or something, then obviously there's gonna be. But take advantage from a betting perspective. The first few weeks, I'm not touching the San Fran game. But if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm feeling just as confident. It's week 1. It's week 1. A quarterback who just had fucking what is this? Rotator cuff surgery?
Yeah.
Dude. Like Alex, I'm
And-
not touching it,
And
but I'm
Bosa's still
playing-
holding out. He hasn't even been there. He's-
Bosa's got contract issues.
and they're at home. Steelers
Yeah.
at home with the home crowd. San Francisco traveling across country.
Yep, they're a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast.
1 o'clock
Week
game.
1.
1 o'clock
Yeah.
game. Time difference. The crowd is going to be liquored up starting at 6 a.m. in the morning.
And it's what is it? What is it? Is it 9/11 or close to 9/11 around the time?
Yeah, that's the first week for everybody. And then
Yeah.
Shanksville, PA is where one of the planes went down.
Oh, 9/11 is Sunday.
Yeah. So they'll honor.
There you go. Everybody's
the
gonna do
folks.
that. These boys gonna be juiced up for that. Like I said, I mean, I'm not touching it, but if I
TJ's healthy. Remember last year, 2-6 without TJ, 6-2 with him.
yeah. And is it TJ versus Trent Williams?
Yeah. But
Highsmith
had 15 sacks last year on the other side.
On the other side. And TJ was in and out of the lineup. So
and then now they got depth with Golden and then Herbig coming off to give him rest in this heat. The first let's say 3-4 games of the season, that's what you got to watch is teams with more depth to rotate players because it is going to be hot. Day games. I went to a day game in September when they played the Raiders a couple years ago. It was 90 degrees, sweating, hot. You need to use everybody. You need to rotate all the D linemen.
Keep them fresh.
Yeah,
keep them fresh.
And the deeper teams are gonna be well. As long to me, if Kenny doesn't turn the ball over, Steelers
be solid.
I mean, the division is hard. Baltimore's great.
Let's talk about the division a little bit before we move on to some other teams. So quickly in the division, so they got Cleveland with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's looked like shit since he's got to Cleveland, and he's had the whole massage parlor incident issue
and the money.
That he's getting paid a boatload of money. He's not restructuring for shit. Yeah. And then, like I said, with that team. They have a really good team. The offensive line is top 5 in the NFL. I mean, they're monsters on the offensive line. The defensive line is incredible as well as their front 7 on the defensive side. It's really Deshaun Watson, and he's the reason they brought him in instead of Baker Mayfield. This year, he's going to get a full season. For the Cleveland fans, I will give you that. Yeah, I mean, he came in. He had to learn the system on the fly. Was suspended for some games. So we'll see actually what happens out of it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Cleveland. So how confident can you get with that when that fucking elf – I hope they don't have that fucking elf in the field.
They got the elf.
Because he shitted on me last year with that one game.
All these folks picking Cleveland over Pittsburgh. I'll just throw this out. The Browns have not had a better record than the Steelers in 32 years.
Yeah, he's taking a call there. But, I mean, as far as Cleveland's concerned, if you're a Cleveland fan, I mean, you got Nick Chubb. I mean, Kareem Hunt is gone, I guess. I don't know who the backup's going to be, but they're a predominantly running team. If Deshaun can just do serviceable stuff as a quarterback, if he hasn't completely fallen off a cliff, they're going to hang in there. From the Bengals' perspective, though, the Bengals, we're going to see. I mean, Joe Burrow's been banged up all preseason. I think he had a surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
He had surgery. He said he got hurt the first practice
on a non-contact related injury. So we don't know what that's going to look like. Obviously, the Bengals still got the same very solid team, representative in the Super Bowl a few years ago. It was the AFC Championship game, couldn't get the job done against Patrick Mahomes and company. So, I mean, in that regard, I mean, the Bengals are solidified to me. But the thing is, they always split with a lot of these teams. And then you got to put Baltimore in there. Like, I like Baltimore. I think they're going to surprise a lot of fucking people this season. I'm actually going to be potentially going up to see Odell Beckham. For the people that do live in Maryland, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, if you would like to see Odell Beckham, I think he has an autograph signing next week, the 6th, somewhere in upper northern Maryland. For the real true Baltimore fans, if you want it, you can get in contact with me. My information is below, and then most of you guys have my IG or my Facebook account. You can message me there. But as far as for Baltimore, man, with them getting a certified #1 receiver, which has never happened in like years, and Andrews can actually be a tight end instead of like a #1 target, instead of getting 20 catches per game.
Zay Flowers too from Boston College, a rookie is nice.
Zay Flowers, that speed. I went to the what is it? The Washington game.
Yeah, the Washington game. Yeah.
That boy is fast, man. He looks like Tyreek Hill. I haven't seen Tyreek Hill in person, but he just scoots across away from you. Can't touch him. Yeah. Like you can't catch a dude. Like
and
route.
And they still have Bateman, who's a first-round pick.
You got Bateman, who was hurt portions of last year, but
he's hurt his whole career. Every year.
Is that the knock on him?
He hasn't played at all for 3 years. Yeah.
Is this his third year?
Yeah, and that's why they drafted Zay Flowers, because the other guy, he hasn't played at all.
Well, Bateman, when he gets on the field, he is a prove-it guy. He does show his work, but the thing is, he has to stay healthy. But your Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, and Bateman, along with some of these other guys, Duvernay and Andrews at tight end, and what's the other guy? I forgot the dude's name. The black dude at tight end. He's really good. Likely. And then their offensive line is always really good. They got the best kicker in the NFL, so he can kick from anywhere. The defense is going to be. They added a pass rusher in Clowney to go opposite of the rookie that they drafted a few years ago. Baltimore. I mean, their only issue is corner. Marlon Humphrey hasn't even lived up to the money that he's gotten. I mean, I like Marlon Humphrey. He's been solid, but once he got paid, last year the Baltimore got torched, man, in that secondary. I don't know if it was because they couldn't get no pressure, but man,
second halves of games they would get to leads like the Pittsburgh game. They got to a big lead, and Kenny brought them back and drove to win the game at the end.
They was just getting dotted up. But I mean, that's going to be a very interesting division. Division I want to talk about next, Z, is obviously was hot last year. Was the AFC West with the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders and all of those teams. And for the people that don't know, we'll probably potentially I dig in touch with our guy, the gentleman from the Chargers, Chris Hayre. I'm actually drawing a mind blank right now, but he was on our platform last year. He did confirm that he will try to be on with us between after week 1 or after week 2. So if you're a Chargers fan, you'll be able to tune in and ask questions there for Chris. You can catch him on the sideline there. But let's talk about the Chargers really quick. I mean, I gotta ask him when he comes on, man. This coach, man.
They have one of the best. They have one of the best rosters they have had. One of the best rosters in the league the last few years. They just can't get it done.
It's the coaching, man. And that's the thing. I got to ask him when he comes on, what is, from the outside of Chargers fandom, the NFL views the Chargers as one of the best, the most talented team in the NFL. But the coach is like, if you had to give him a grade, he's like a D. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's failing like every fucking game. He puts his players in position to not succeed. Like, how do you lose a playoff game, a wild card weekend down? What are they, 28-0 or 21-0?
Yeah, halftime. Yeah, and they blew it.
What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
now they got rid of the offensive coordinator, so they got Kellen Moore now.
But that's coaching.
From the Cowboys.
Man. That's coaching. You got to step in as the head coach and said, "Look, you son of a bitch."
They were so conservative.
I'm taking over the offense now. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, especially when you're imploding like that.
And you got Justin Herbert, and you're going to just go conservative and try to run out the clock and lose the game, basically.
Joey Bosa lost his mind, slammed his. I remember his earpads falling out. All of that. Got a penalty to put him in field goal range. All types of shit. They're just an undisciplined team, in my opinion.
And then this year, Eckler, like every other running back, wants a new contract.
Wants his money, you know.
So there's annoyances, but I mean their roster: Keenan Allen, Mike
Williams.
Incredible.
Like I said, they're my Madden
Palmer, team. The third receiver is good. Everett at tight end is good. I mean, they got Slater, one of the best tackles in the league, and then Johnson was a first-round pick at guard. They're
on paper,
they're stacked.
They're a Madden team. Like, when you turn on Madden, they're probably like they are a top 5 team for the people that do play Madden. I mean, they're beasts. It's just the coaching.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the
Like you can
corners,
make
Asante Samuel and J.C. Jackson. I mean, they're
yeah,
a stacked team.
yeah.
Derwin James at safety.
Yeah, you got no excuse. You got no excuse. I mean, for the chart, if you don't get if you don't get to the AFC Championship game, dude should be done. There's no reason why you should be competing with the Chiefs, or at least doing something. Splitting games with them when you play them twice a year. At least taking care of your home field. Staying in that division, Z. I mean, I know our boy Jay ain't on, but what do we think of his Raiders? It's an odd bunch, but I mean, what do you make of that?
What's Jimmy G's stats? So Jimmy G a QB, and then Josh Jacobs signed a 1-year deal, so at least he's going to be playing. But for him, here's going to be the messed up part. They signed him to a 1-year deal. That means they're going to run him into the ground. 350 carries because he's going to be gone next year. They don't care. I mean, ooh.
Yeah.
They still got Devontae Adams and Renfro. They lost their tight end who went to the Giants. And so that might be Darren Waller's gone. But other than that, they got Jimmy G's health is an issue. Their backup is Brian Hoyer, Patriots guy. Both Patriots guys, Jimmy G and Hoyer. And then the guy who surprised in the preseason, their third quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, the rookie from Purdue, looked good in the preseason. They got a quarterback of the future there. But I don't know. I don't like their secondary. I don't like their linebackers. They got Spillane starting at middle linebacker.
Do you got like a Spillane tracker or something?
Oh, man. Good riddance. But they said that he'll bring veteran leadership to their defense.
That's about it.
So that's why they got him. I'm like, yeah, they could have the veteran leadership. Slowest linebacker in the league, getting beat every time down. But so I don't see them beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't see them beating the Chargers.
Yeah. They're an intriguing team. I will say this. I like Jimmy G. I'd love to have Jimmy G over Baker Mayfield. But I mean, with him going back to his old coordinator, was it Josh McDaniels or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
He's back teed up with him. He knows the system. He's going to be able to flourish. I think the offense is going to be a hell of a lot better this year, especially with him healthy. Josh Jacobs, like you said, they're going to run him into the ground. Yeah. And for the people that, I mean, Derek Carr, I know he's on the Saints now. Derek Carr is so like 50-50, man. And people might say it's like an even swap, but people got to understand this. Jimmy G had some of his best years under McDaniels when he was with the Patriots before he moved on and played for San Francisco. They're going to run that type of system for Jimmy. The only reason Jimmy left, I mean, for the most part, is because they had moved on to Trey Lance, and they took him high in the draft. And then obviously things didn't work out. But I mean, I personally like Jimmy. I think he throws the ball. He can be interception heavy from time to time. But with this team, we're having Jacobs. We got to see if that offensive line can hold up.
It's good. I mean, they're scheduled to start the season. They're at Denver, at Buffalo, versus Pittsburgh, versus the Chargers. First 4 games.
So you got a few winnable games in there. So, I mean, you said, like, against you guys, I don't think you guys are that much better than them, but I think you guys, if I had to pick,
I think in Vegas, it'll be a home game for the Steelers. I think Steelers take over that stadium. And
I think
it's a home game.
On paper, I think that's a 50-50 game. Even though I think you guys win, I think it's a 50-50 game. Like the Bills, we don't know what the hell they're doing. People
at
are
Buffalo.
Yeah,
so they start at Denver. So the Sean
didn't
Payton
you say
deal.
the Jets or some shit?
No, first game is at Denver.
Okay,
so they got
welcome to Jay in the show. What's up, Jay?
What's good, y'all? It's been a minute.
What's up?
Yeah, man.
Oh, look, we just started talking about your Raiders.
Hey,
perfect timing.
Hey, hold up, bro. Were you watching the show before you came in, or what?
Nah, bro. I just jumped in here. I was just hustling to get in here when I saw it, and I was like, I gotta go.
If y'all don't believe in a higher power, and Jay, when you look back at this show and watch this, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking. if you guys don't believe in a higher power, man, I don't know what's wrong with you. But Jay, we was actually just talking about your Raiders, man. So we'll actually let you, since you
give us
just
your
joined
overview.
in. I mean, yeah. So tell us.
Okay. Aiden Connell's been great. Starting off with the rookies. Our corner, I pronounced his name wrong. Jacorin from Maryland, baller for sure. I think our offensive line has changed. I honestly think that we're going into this season a lot better than what a lot of people expect us to do. Not a huge fan of Jimmy. Ron, we didn't talk about.
Come on, man. Nah, dog. That's Jimmy G. Jimmy G, baby. Come on, man.
Man, I don't got him pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? But the last preseason he came in 4 for 4, did his thing. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. That sounds like it may be all right. So it's just a win the stack division. Broncos, we're not worried about them. Well, we're not worried about them. They have a lot of issues. Chargers, we've been saying the Chargers going to be up. But we found a way to beat them almost every time. Me and Z talked about that one year where we kept them alive. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
You know what I'm saying? But not like that. So, it's a lot just riding on this. So, to me, I think we're going to have an interesting year. I think we're going to have a positive record, not an 8-7 or really close. I think we may be like 2 or 3 wins up more than a lot of people expect us to be.
And what do you think of the offensive line? Because that's what I look at the line. That's.
It's a lot of shifting around. Honestly, I'm pretty confident in our line because I believe before the season went out, we were kind of in the upper echelons. We were like in the top like 12, which is hard for me to believe. But a lot of that is Jacobs just running the ball. So he made us look a lot better than we really are. So I mean, at this point, the line, if it's keep on trending upward, I'm fine. Like I'm cool. So I'm not necessarily really, really worried. I think now going forward, I think the part that I'm worried about the most is most likely our corners. I mean, our corners and more so our linebackers, to be honest with you. Our linebackers is like our super weak part of our team, to be honest. So
y'all got Robert Spillane.
Yeah.
Man. He said he an asshole. Y'all got Robert Spillane. He's Superman and shit.
I knew that was gonna come up.
Brings that veteran leadership and also the veteran speed at middle linebacker.
You fucking asshole.
This is crazy. You gotta tell me more about.
Oh man,
I don't know too much.
You will learn my suffering. The last 3 years of pain and suffering. Watching tight ends run for 30, 40 yards. The slot receivers, boom, catch it, gone. I'm like, are you kidding me? That dude is the slowest dude in the entire league.
He might not starting though, Z.
He's starting.
Yeah, he's definitely starting. Diablo is the only person we got from the second year. And we got a new guy that came from Florida that's looking pretty good, but starting, nah.
He might be better than what they had though. He'll
help your run defense. He will be beautiful on the run defense.
Okay,
but
I'll take it.
As soon as third down comes, oh man,
they might get him off the field by then.
It's absolute ulcer time for. I mean, oh yeah, and it's man, putting him in the slot in coverage.
Oh God,
just brings back flashbacks, misery, absolute misery.
Damn. And like I said, that was the part I'm worried about, and you just confirmed it. So I don't fucking know, man.
So let's talk a little bit about the Broncos, man. So is Rush cooking, or is Sierra just she done took all his power away or some shit?
Man.
They've had so many injuries. I mean, all the receiving core. I mean, every week.
Yeah. Every week, yeah, they've been having a lot of injuries. Of what I've been hearing. Also, I've been hearing that Sean is having an issue with converting his system to Russ. Yeah, because not even to Denver, to Russ, because Russ is more so kind of like creative. You kind of get him out the pocket. He doesn't really play like that versus how Sean coaches. So I'm hearing it's a lot of clashing.
You think about Drew Brees or his Jameis was his other quarterback.
Yeah, famous Jameis, chicken leg, no crab leg Jameis. Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of reports about that. I'm always keeping tabs on our division to see what's going on. So, yeah.
I hear you. I mean, in that division, like I said, it's gonna be kind of a, and then obviously you got the Chiefs. I mean, we ain't gonna keep sucking the Chiefs on this show. We already know what it is, man. I'm not keep sucking you. Yeah, they're really, really good. They're the best team.
They do have a holdout though. There,
Chris Jones.
Yeah, he's still holding out.
They better pay that man.
Man, Chris Jones can come to Raiders.
They're the only person that I know on that defensive side. Like, who else do they have?
You prove a valid point. I do not know.
I don't know who another starter is. Like, I can't name another starter.
They were all young on defense.
Yeah, they always draft like a young defense, and they just work. So
spend all their money on offense.
Yep.
But that's one Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's
when you got a quarterback of that magnitude, yeah. But for other teams, there's other ways. Like the Eagles, they got an incredible all-around team. But I mean, once they pay Jalen, so they're not gonna be able to pay people like they paid them before. But we'll see what happens out of it. But
I mean, literally, if you look at their starting defense, maybe Justin Reed, who's the safety they got from Houston, people might know, and then Chris Jones. But the rest of them,
Chris Jones, yeah. But outside of that, like, I don't know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, I keep tabs on all other components in our division. So it's like,
look, they're starting corners: Latarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie.
I don't know who they are. Those are who.
I mean, defensive end Mike Dana. I'm like, who is this? Derek Anati. I mean, their defense is just a bunch of young dudes, probably with a lot of speed, but they win on offense. And then the kicker is amazing. But that defense, besides Chris Jones, if Chris Jones is not there, I mean,
he pushes the pace. He's like Aaron Donald. It don't work if he there, if he not there. At least in my opinion.
I mean, have you heard of Leo Chanel?
Bro, come on. You know we don't know
that
these
sound like perfume.
It do though. Hey, you want to try this Leo Chanel?
Right.
You spray it on it. Give your girl something nice for Christmas and shit.
Their defense.
Let me Hasley at Macy's and shit.
They spend so they're the exact opposite of the Steelers, spending 90% of their money on offense and nothing on defense. Where the Steelers spend 90% of their money on defense. But the offense is working. It's an offensive league. So
I'm gonna say
that's Chiefs. Can't knock them.
To exceed. So let me ask you this: since we are a DMV-based podcast, so the Washington Commanders obviously sold their franchise. What is it? The Harris Group with Magic Johnson,
Josh Harris, the owner of the Sixers,
76ers, one of my favorite NBA teams. So, Jay, all right, no.
All right, go ahead.
That's gonna be another show. That shit was funny as hell, though. So Washington, man. So what do we think of that? Like Sam Howell looks really good, man.
Yeah, I like their roster. I like Washington's roster. Their Washington's roster is. I mean, I don't like their coach,
Rivera.
Yeah. Did you hear his last press conference? I never knew Sam Howell was a good player until my wife told me about it at the end of the season. And who was it? He said Taylor Heineke came up to him and said we should let Sam Howell start the last game. That's the only reason he started the last game while he was going with Carson Wentz the whole year.
You know what?
Why would you admit that as a head coach? I'm shocked. I never knew he was this good. I mean, are you not watching the scout team? He's on your team.
Are you at any meetings? Like, what you doing? What's up?
Yeah, Ron just be saying stuff, man. And I mean, I guess they've gotten over. Remember when in training camp when they were like Vietnamese being mean to players and shit, and they don't like his offense and shit. Them motherfuckers look pretty good to me in the preseason.
Yep.
Just because you don't like them don't mean it don't fucking work.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean. Some methods
they look organized. Even when they had the guy they cut, the Georgia quarterback who they cut, he came in the preseason game against the Ravens and marched them down, kicked the field goal to win the game. I mean, that's an organized offense.
The key word, organized.
Yeah.
They look very and organized in Washington really don't even really coexist in the set. It don't mix. It's just complete chaos. You know what I mean? So, but Eric Bieniemy seems like he brought some organization to the offense. They look like a professional team on offense. The defense is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they got. I mean, Jonathan Allen is probably, and I hate to say this, he might have took over as probably the best defensive line in the NFL, other than Aaron Donald. I mean, especially from a D tackle standpoint, and that's hard for me to say because Aaron Donald's my guy. But I mean, age, Father Time gets to us all. I know he's been banged up, but I mean, Jonathan Allen is an absolute monster. And then I mean, I got to ask you this, Jay, because this is your second team. What are you going to do with Chase Young? I was actually talking to one of my guys at the gym today about it, and we were just talking about all the pieces with them paying Allen. They've paid Payne. I mean, you haven't paid. What's the other guy? Sweat yet?
Yeah,
but he's a proven guy.
Yeah, Montez Sweat is proven.
So what are you gonna do with Chase Young?
Everything really depends on this season, right? Because I think that his contract is almost up, so it's kind of
it's up this year, but they can franchise him. But the franchise at a defensive end is like $20 million.
Yeah, it's pretty hefty. But the thing about it is Chase has all the tools to be that guy, right? And it all made sense. He's from the area. He's coming back home. He just had a lot of injury, and people are scared about that. But at the end of the day, it's like I don't know. I'm hearing rumors that they're already kind of exploring to trade him.
And the thing is, I think the telling side too is when he's on the PUP list down for that with his injury.
Yeah, he might be out. He might be out week 1.
That's what he's doing. Chase Young is like, yo, I'm not new to this, man, bro. Like, I'm faking this fucking injury until you trade me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm faking the fuck. I mean, same thing with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen with Taylor.
Anybody on the PUP list, you really gotta watch him because dude probably went out there and was like, shit.
With Taylor, he's out first 4 games.
Yeah.
First 4 games, he's out.
Yeah. So
Taylor's out of there.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that. I like Chase Young. I think he has some upside. He just has to prove it, man. He got to stay on the field and stay healthy. But as far as Washington, is McLaurin, is he gonna be ready week 1?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm assuming
they said something.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be ready week 1. I think it's like a minor thing. That was
nuts playing him in the third quarter of a preseason game for him to get hurt.
Coaching.
With a backup quarterback. Brissett was a quarterback.
Why we have a backup with I don't understand that.
Rivera, man. Ron Rivera. I mean, as far as I will say this, I haven't checked. Well, I'm gonna check the spread in a few minutes. But that Washington-Arizona game,
it's 7.
It's just 7?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
All right,
Christmas.
This season, look, it's gonna be fade Arizona, fade Arizona, fade Arizona.
Hell yeah! Because they're trying to lose.
No,
they're trying to lose.
Josh Dobbs is gonna be their quarterback. Yeah. They just got him a week ago, and he's the starter.
Oh yeah, kill him, kill them, everything. First few weeks we clean it up.
Man, and it's at home too. And it's in Washington with the new ownership.
With the new ownership? Oh,
and it's 9-11. Week 1 is not. What they had they had
the Pentagon. Yeah,
the Pentagon. Yeah. So you playing for all of that?
Oh yeah.
I'm actually gonna put something in after this broadcast. I'm not gonna put stuff up that fucking much, just in case. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm going heavy on Washington. And the thing is, like I said, we're gonna close out with bets. Why I love teasers so much.
Yeah, it's still 7.
That 7 gonna turn to
7. Yeah,
that 7 just gonna turn to a -1. So if I tease this and pick another game and a 2-team teaser, shit. I mean, I'm getting probably Washington -1 or just to win the fucking game. Shit. So that's why I love teasers. But like I said, if you're Washington,
maybe Ravens over the Texans. Ravens at home against Houston.
Oh yeah, I think definitely Ravens.
Oh yeah,
are going to take that. I mean, Houston. I'm not saying Houston gonna be bad. I think Houston made a lot of good moves, but Lamar coming back with weapons, the whole DMV is gonna be up. Baltimore, I'm betting on. Commanders, I'm betting on. Like you said, we'll get to that. So,
for sure.
Let's go. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. Football season's back, man. Like if week 1's next week, we got college football this fucking weekend. I won fucking money last night on Utah and shit.
Man, they beat the hell out of fucking the
The
Gators.
Gators, yeah.
You know, I faded my school. I faded Kent.
Oh,
You
we
been
know
talking
you.
about that all week. You been
Watched
talking
the
about that
UCF.
all week too. I ain't even touched that jump.
And the funny thing is, when they announced the starting lineups, the starting center for UCF was Kent State's starting center last year, transferred into UCF. Oh my God, they had all 24 starters transfer, and then 8 of the 11 backups on defense transferred because the coach left and went to be with Dion to be their offensive coordinator. Kent State is the team to fade. They can't score. They can't play defense. Look at that schedule and fade them every week and make some money.
Yeah, just kind of keep on adding them on the, I guess.
As bad as it was seeing my school getting stomped, seeing my little account get pumped up with, I took them first quarter, I took them first half, I took them full game, and it just cash.
I feel that.
And also, team total under 10, they only scored 6 points. That cash too.
Gosh, he tried to give him money.
And then what made it worse was the over under. When UCF had the backups in with 20 seconds left, they scored a touchdown to make the game go over. They won like 57-6 or something. But that last touchdown pushed it over the total. Instead of taking a knee, Gus Malzahn was like, "Nah, man, we ain't taking a knee. We're scored with
oh Lord, that's
seconds left in the game to make it 57-6."
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, you gotta do that in college football because you never know. It helps with your seeding.
You know what I mean? I'm about to say, seeding stats. People really care about stats and going all that. Yeah,
man. For all the people who bet the under on that game, oh, that was beautiful. I mean, that was rough on them because that last touchdown, I was like, ooh, that just took the game over.
Took the game. I hate those with a passion.
Yeah, week one, watch. My advice week one is take first halves, first quarters. Watch the backdoor covers with the scrubs in the game at the end of college football. That always happens. So with these big spreads, -40, just watch out for that. First half, first quarters are better than the full games.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like I said, college football is just gonna be so fun. And actually, we can probably just close out here, guys, with some of these bets, man. I was actually just looking at some of the shit right now. Like I said, yesterday, I took Utah over Florida, man, and that actually worked out well for me. I took the first half. I took a full game. The backup, I did a little research on the backup quarterback, and he looked pretty solid. Florida's quarterback looked like trash.
Oh, horrible! Graham Mertz, old Wisconsin quarterback. That's a team to fade because he was terrible.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Florida coach might be fired after this. He might get let go early because you bro, I'm just like, you're the Florida Gator. You're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be last year.
That's what I'm saying. You're the Gator. Like, you're supposed to get like big, high profile talent and the recruits. You letting fucking Utah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to say that about Utah, but you letting fucking Utah Oots or whatever the Oats. Yeah, fucking smash you all up and down the fucking field. That's ridiculous, dude. But yeah, they look strong once they get Cam Rising back. I mean, he was an NFL prospect. We'll see actually what comes out of it. But as far as
he's not recovered from because he tore his ACL in the Rose Bowl. He's still not ready.
It must have been a bad injury. He got a bad surgery, or he didn't. What do you call it? Heal up right. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But as far as for like was it tonight or Saturday? I was looking, fellas, and I was looking at where to go. I was looking at Eastern. Actually, tonight, Eastern Michigan versus Howard.
It's Eastern Michigan versus Howard.
Eastern Michigan versus Howard.
Covering that, they killing that 20.
I'm teasing it down. And I'll probably take Eastern Michigan first half. I ain't worrying about the real HU and all of this bullshit. Howard, yeah, you're close by, but yeah, Eastern Michigan is a real football program. They got some solid players. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking them tonight in some type of teaser situation. Another game I was looking at, I think actually tonight as well, is the Miami Hurricanes versus Miami, Ohio.
That's not a big spread I'm looking at right now.
It's not, man. I mean, it's only 16 for the game. Miami's not the juggernaut, but I mean, actually, they are the juggernaut. I mean, Miami, Ohio is a solid squad.
Yeah, but they got a lot of returners. That's why that game is iffy to me because those MAC teams always surprise.
They will surprise you.
If the MAC teams return a quarterback, because the game, San Diego State game, the quarterback got hurt from the MAC team in the second quarter. Without him, they're horrible. Ohio University. He got hurt in the second quarter. They put the backup in, and he was just straight garbage, and they lost the game. So everybody who was betting on it was betting on that quarterback. As soon as he got hurt, you're like, oh no.
I look at it like this though. With Miami, with the Miami game, I like their talent better than Miami, Ohio. They are way more talented team. Miami wasn't horrible last year. I mean, their quarterback, I think, will be much improved. Like I said, I'm taking them not in the big, large spread that it is, but probably in the teaser, or probably one of these other games, or potentially a WNBA game. Another team that I'm looking at for this Saturday is SMU. And people have already heard this on the program for probably the past few years. I fuck with SMU hard.
They just announced they're going to the ACC. They got so much money from the boosters. They said you don't need to pay us any money from the TV. We just need to be in the ACC. So they said they'll take less money, and the boosters said they'll give them the money they're giving up to go to the ACC. So Stanford crazy. And Cal were accepted into the ACC.
And that's the thing. And see, you say things like that. It shows that my product and my bets have been right, because they're not going to allow bum-ass teams to come to the ACC. Like, they're not going to allow you to step up in competition and play Florida State, North Carolina, and NC State, and whatever the other teams are in the ACC. So, I mean, SMU, now it's like they can't be hidden anymore. I'm not saying they were kind of hidden, because people like, SMU, I got to look, oh, damn, they win 8-9 games a year. Now it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Now it's the cat's out of the bag. People's on SMU. But I mean, the thing is, I got something for that. I mean, another team, until they move them motherfuckers up, WKU. I'm taking WKU. Saturday is at 3:30. They're at home. They're playing, South Florida. South Florida's been on the decline for the past few years. I know a few years ago, when I was a little younger, they were pretty solid. They can't get their quarterback, their coaching right, their defense. They just got a lot of guys that just run around and just out of position.
Their quarterback is now the backup quarterback at UCF. He came in the second half. He came in the game. They were like, yeah, former starting quarterback at South Florida decided to go across to UCF.
And you saw what happened, right?
And he came in and got 3 touchdowns. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So to be the backup at UCF, he would rather be the backup at UCF than continue as a starter at South Florida.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's stuff like that. See, I'm taking WKU, their passing offense. I think they set like the record for the most points scored in the season with a Division I program. It's the same program that Bailey Zappi, the guy that came out of
Patriots.
The Patriots when they benched Mac Jones. So that program, wherever he came out of. So I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at where did it go? I'm pulling it up now. I'm looking at Penn State over West Virginia. First half, I'm as far as the full game line, Penn State has a real shot this year. I mean, I'll feel comfortable with the -20. Honestly,
Penn State's gonna be good this year. I mean, it's gonna come down to Ohio State and Michigan every year. Can they beat Ohio State and Michigan? That's James Franklin's problem. Can't beat Ohio State and Michigan.
Michigan, I'm about to say, maybe on a tear.
He beats everybody else, but he could never beat Ohio State and Michigan. He loses to them every year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely looking at Penn State pretty hard, and I love that game. I love Penn State. I'm looking at Tulane. Tulane is Saturday night. Like I said, another one of these teams that are Division I teams, but they give these teams favorable spread because a lot of people don't really bet a bunch of money on it.
And remember, Tulane beat USC in the bowl game.
In the bowl game. That's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. I'm adamant about my bet. Like I said, I don't bet $5. I don't bet $10. I bet a decent amount of money on my games. So when I look at these teams from the mid-majors, the Houstons, the Tulanes, the SMUs, the Miami of Ohio's, the WKUs, it's for a good reason. But I love them, and I like. I'll close out with this, and I'll let you guys get on some. I like BYU, and I also love UCLA over Coastal Carolina. I think Coastal Carolina's quarterback's going McCall.
No, he's back.
Oh, is he back now?
Yeah, so he went in the transfer portal, and at the last second, he changed his mind and said, "I'm not going to leave my guys." So he skipped the bowl game, planning to transfer, and then after everything settled, he said, "I'm coming back," and came back.
Okay, I actually might look at Tibet with Coastal Carolina. And I'll close out with this. I know I'm gonna let you guys get some. But for my 50-50 game, Florida State's gonna beat the shit out of LSU, and I'm calling it now. And if you pay your money, you can inbox me. We can get some bets in. We can get, if you're an LSU fan, you want action on this game, let me know, because Florida State's my team, and they're gonna make some real noise. Jordan Travis might be a Heisman hopeful. They're gonna make a lot of noise this year. But I mean, that's
revenge, and they beat them last year in New Orleans.
Yeah. So that's my bets, man. But like I said, lay large dollars on Florida State. I'm just telling you now. But whoever you guys can go next. So,
man, I ain't got too much because college. I gotta let the first week go and take a look at a few things to properly assess. So I ain't got nothing right now. I mean, NFL. Yeah, NFL. We already spoke about. I don't know if we'll get a recording in before that, but man, believe what y'all see. That's all I'm saying. There's some obvious answers out here, and don't overthink it. Do not overthink it.
What you guys see?
So for me, I start off with Tennessee over Virginia. Game at Tennessee. I mean, it's sad with the tragedy of Virginia last year losing a couple players, but I don't see them keeping up with Tennessee's offensive linemen. They got Joe Milton at quarterback. He played the second half of the year last year.
Yeah.
Spread is 28. First half is a great bet. So Tennessee, I like Tennessee over Virginia. I like Notre Dame over Tennessee State. I know it's a big spread, but Notre Dame look good. I mean, they got Sam Hartman at quarterback. They got an offense. They can score. Rome, I'm with you on Penn State over WVU. First half bet for me, I think that is going to be a good strong bet. Nevada might be one of the worst teams in the entire country. They play USC. So
is it an 80 to nothing?
The problem with USC, their defense will let up some points. So definitely first half, USC definitely the over, but they're going to destroy them. So I like USC, and then USC has they played last week, so they have a game advantage too. So definitely USC over Nevada, and then I will go to Monday night. I would take Clemson over Duke. I just think Clemson, returning quarterback, returning majority of their offense, just a better team. And so for me, that would be the last one. I think I'm with you on Florida State over LSU. Games in Florida.
Hold on. Relax on my team, all right? We're gonna take that down.
Hold on. I forget that is it. We gotta get the bet in. No, there's no reason. No.
He said no reason.
No, we gotta get a bet in. You both serve. I mean, we both kind of, on the same level. No, nothing's better than. I actually think you guys might be ranked higher than us. So
it's a huge game right off the bat too.
Nah, it is. I'm trying to avoid that. So you said it again. I said, all right, well, now I gotta say something second go around. So yeah.
So I take it you're on LSU.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be a great game, just like last year. Came down to the end.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. I mean, but there's advantages. Like even tonight, Hawaii's at home against Stanford. Hawaii looked good last week against Vanderbilt. They traveled the country. Now they got a home game with all the hurricane and the tragedy in Hawaii. That place is going to be emotional. Stanford coming in there. That spread opened at Hawaii plus 17 and has been bet all the way down to Hawaii plus 3 now.
I'm about to say I see Hawaii plus 3. And honestly,
oh my gosh, you could have got 17 points before last week's game, but they played so good last week. Now it's all the money went on Hawaii, and now it's only plus 3. Now it might be maybe look at the Stanford side at 3, because if just the value of when you could have had 17, you could have had 10, and now at 3, it's just betting. A lot of betting is based on value and based on numbers.
Yeah.
But that'll be a good game tonight.
Yeah, and I think we'll, a few other things before we close out, man. So, congrats to our former guest, guys. Was it Gerard Welcher? Remember Coach Welcher?
Yeah,
got his first head coaching job, man. And we were kind of talking about this with
Morehouse. Yeah.
Yep, his first head coaching job at Morehouse. So good luck to him this weekend, man. I got to check exactly see who they play exactly, but we were talking. He was on our platform. We was talking about not getting a shot because of these college coaching retreads, and the same thing happens in the NFL. But now he's got a shot at Morehouse. So definitely go show your support. Follow him on IG and support the program there. And like I said, we're going to be hopefully having our Chargers guest back on. So Chris Harry, the team reporter, potentially, he said either after week 1, I'm guessing if they don't lose too bad, or after week 2.
So Morehouse is at the Hall of Fame Classic in Canton, Ohio this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Versus Virginia Union. So there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then next week they're against Howard in DC.
Oh,
man, we might have to go see that, man.
Yeah.
We might have to go see that now.
Saturday, September 9th.
I'm gonna look into that. I might go out there and show support, man. But yeah, I mean, like I said, him getting his very first head coaching job in the college football ranks. Very proud of him. And we'll obviously have some of these other guests back on the show here pretty soon. Have some other guests lined up for you guys. Hopefully some boxing guests, man. So went to a few fights, talked to a few people.
I'm repping the boxing.
I'm hoping. I don't want to set myself up. But I did get a chance to meet my favorite fighter, David Benavidez, at the local fight out here on his fight card his brother fought. Talked to him, man. I said, look, I need you to knock Jamal the fuck out. I don't like them Charlo dudes. I don't fuck with them. Please just beat one of them.
Don't even let them. Yeah, don't even just beat them. Knock them out.
Yeah, please just kill him. He laughed. He said, I got you. You know what I mean? So the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, I'm hoping he at least makes a fight with one of them. He's on his way up. Obviously, we got the Canelo Charlo fight that's coming up.
Coming up soon.
I'm pretty sure we'll probably get another show in before then, man. But as far as like you said, week 1, we'll hopefully try to get another show in before then. But if we don't, we'll let you guys know. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure you, as always, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Fellas, you got anything else before we close out?
No, just good luck with the bets for everybody.
Bet responsibly. Bet responsibly.
Definitely.
All right, please. I don't want to hear.
Bet like an Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You're the only person that can control that. Don't get it. Don't half-ass it.
Do not be a degenerate. Please do not be a degenerate.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Bet what you only can. That's just.
And you don't have to bet every game. They got to post every game. Our only advantage is we don't have to bet every game.
Yeah.
So just pick and choose.
Some people do though. Some people do.
I've been there. Baseball. I used to.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, every game. Every game.
Yeah, please don't do that because I mean your emotions up and down all day. You win, you bet on the late game, you lose. You're like, damn.
Yeah, go through all that stress and then you end up plus $5 after win 10.
All these ups and downs, your heart pounding. You win fucking $5.
$5. Yeah. They ain't lying.
Yeah, if you sometimes just take the money and go. Yeah. And also another thing, ladies, leave your man alone, man. He's not going to the mall. Yeah. He's not going to the nail salon. He's not doing nothing. Just cook him some fucking chicken wings, make him some fucking fried rice, and sit down, man.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Football is back.
Finally. Yeah, finally. God.
Nah, for real, man. But we'll close out, man. See you guys next show. Take it easy. Peace.